We are
excited.
excited about the elaboration room.
I am excited about this.
Welcome to the Elaboration Room with Reverend Yo and Reverend Harris.
There it goes. It's working now. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us once again in the Elaboration Room with two sisters of one. As you see, we have a very special guest tonight as we are honoring becoming fathers tonight. So, as you know, every Father's Day, we try to bring you a male figure in the picture. So tonight we have Reverend T's son in, and he is going to be joining us tonight. And as we always do, we want to thank you always for your support as you continue to watch our show. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to give us a little message down below, and we'll be more than happy to try and do the show that you request of us. So I am going to toss the ball over into my sister's court because she's going to be the one introducing her son tonight.
All right. Thank you. I am so excited about this episode as Mr. Ian Lawrence, who is an aspiring actor and an educator, and he'll tell you a bit more about himself in a moment. He is on a new chapter of his life, the journey to fatherhood, as they are expecting a little boy. So, for Father's Day this year, I just asked, all a mother can do is ask. I said, do you mind coming on and doing an episode of the Elaboration Room and tell us what your thoughts are? Because when we embark on a new journey, oh my goodness, the unknowns is sometimes the unknowns is what takes us out. It's what really gets to us. So we're going to fire at Ian a couple of questions and get his thought and his mindset of where he is on this journey and what he sees coming up, what he is expecting, anticipating on this journey. So first, Mr. Lawrence, won't you just please tell everyone a bit about yourself?
Hello, my name is Ian Lawrence. I am a teacher. The kids call me Mr. E, a mystery, of course. I tell them that Mr. Lawrence is my father, so I'm just Mr. E. I'm an actor, of course. I've been doing a lot of stage things and commercials and things of that nature. Um, I hope to see you guys on Saturday for the prayer breakfast. I'll be performing there. So if you like this, oh, I just remembered. It's okay.
It's quite all right. You just keep going.
Right.
And he is got a little choked up right there because of Mr. Lawrence's busy schedule. We had to do this taping a bit early before Father's Day. So, as a matter of fact, we are doing it just before he will be bringing his talent to an event that Rose of Sharon is having.
Yeah, but that's my apologies. You know, I'm here in Los Angeles, living in the Valley, getting ready for fatherhood, and all of the things that come with that. Changing things around, schedules around, cleaning up, building things. I've had to turn down parts and plays already that align with important dates. So, just getting your mindset and your lifestyle set for somebody else to live with us.
Not somebody else to live with. So are you already? You are already finding that having a child does change your lifestyle.
Oh, of course. I've known that, from everything that I read and watch, that's one of the things that even in TV shows and movies, that's one of the things that the parents usually say that, oh, I had to give up this, or I had to change this, or I had to clean up this for this person. So that just comes with the territory. You have to, make sure you are prepared again for somebody else to enter your life, and not just somebody like a roommate, but somebody that you care for and love and need to keep alive for at least the base. So that's just really one thing that I was going to say this, like motherhood and fatherhood doesn't start at the birth. It starts when we know that we're expecting. So we've been preparing our minds and our lives for that.
So
Uh,
my question for you is, what what does the experience of expecting fatherhood feel like for those who don't have children yet or want children or have a girlfriend or wife that's getting ready to have a baby? Tell them what that expectation feeling feels like.
I want it to be as transparent as possible for everybody to, get this. What what comes up? Anxiety, fear, overwhelm, excitement. I have been filled with an abundance of love already built up. I am so excited and so scared at the same time. But when I start talking about it to friends and peers, I start getting choked up because the love I have for him is already like, oh, my cup overflows. So a lot of emotions, and a lot of conflicting emotions for that matter. So some days I'm stressed, depressed about my own personal life, and bringing somebody in to mix in with my own personal life. And then there's other days where I'm just ecstatic. Like this weekend, I was building the playpen and the stroller, and oh, with a smile on my face. It's like looking at the stroller seat, like, oh, there you go, little man. Just already knowing somebody's going to be sitting there. It's a wonderful thing
Yeah.
and a scary thing.
Yeah.
how did you
And those are
feel?
natural feelings, though. Those are natural feelings for anyone, a new father, new mother. You're
Mm-hmm.
excited at one moment, you're scared at the next moment because you are finna take care of another human being for, some years, a whole lot of years.
Yeah.
And don't think it stop at 18 because it
Oh,
doesn't. So
it doesn't.
No, and
it's
I
like a
can be a witness.
lifetime.
I can
Yeah,
be a witness to
Yeah.
that. It doesn't stop at 18.
Nope.
could be a
It's a
witness. I'm not
lifetime.
gonna lie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still call on you. I still call on you for everything.
So
So
you have
Ian,
natural feelings. There is nothing wrong with those feelings because those are natural feelings when you're getting ready to be a new parent, period. Because you are looking at, man, I'm excited, but whoo, I'm about to take care of a whole human being.
Yeah,
So they are really legit feelings. So it's nothing to be nervous about or scared about or think, anybody's gonna think of any kind of way because anybody who has been a parent or expecting to be a parent, those are all the same feelings we feel. Go ahead, sis.
so Ian, even with this roller coaster of feelings, what was your mindset as you were sharing the news with uh
you
the parents?
with you.
Not just me, but the parents.
Okay. Um, she,
What were your expectations in that space?
so when I was telling you what was I wasn't expecting anything. I felt like your answer was as predictable as I could expect. You saying it took you long
You didn't have
enough.
to say that part, but
I mean, I cleaned it up. I cleaned it up. But you basically said about time. You guys have been together for a while, so she was expecting it years ago. But God works in mysterious ways. So it aligns with our life.
And was
So
the same with it was the same with Mel's mom.
so yeah, her mom's kind of said the same thing. But what was funny about that was we were in a situation where we didn't even tell her. Somebody else told her, and we just said, surprise. So, but after that, she was just, overcome with joy and excitement for us. It wasn't, I mean, it was funny that you were saying young fatherhood and young parenthood, but, at our age, this is what is supposed to be happening. you know, so she didn't come with shock or, surprise. She was just excited and, filled with joy.
So you didn't, if you could just talk a little bit about everyone always wants, okay, let me get it right. Everyone thinks that ducks have to be in a row to start a family. What is your take on that statement?
I'm still trying to get my ducks in a row.
And it still
And
happens.
it's still happening. And that's just life. I've
There
been
you
on this
go.
planet for a while now. And I'm not the oldest, but I am not the youngest. And I've lived lives of many as well. Ups and downs, trying to get my ducks in a row on the table and the table falls.
Mm,
Trying to get my ducks in a row and then just one duck just disappears. So I'm learning as a philosophy of life that like you probably will never ever get your ducks in a row, but you're gonna get older. Your back is still gonna start hurting. You probably your eyes are gonna go out, and might not even see those ducks. So you gotta just take life as it is and just be excited for moments like this, for big moments like this. You know.
And those are real actual feelings because I can speak for me, I can't speak for your mom. But my ducks wasn't in a row when I had mine, and they probably wasn't never in a row, because you go with the flow of life
mhm.
during those times. From birth to graduation from high school, there's so many different ups and downs and things can, happen and will happen. But I always tell people you can never plan out what can happen. You can plan out what you want to happen,
Right.
but God's plans are always different in the way things work. So
And
I always
because of
tell
that,
people, don't get frustrated when things
right?
don't go your way. Because things change. So I'm
And
excited
because of
for
that,
you.
you got to go with the flow. You really,
Definitely.
it's like what you said. You got to go with the flow. I remember when she told me, and it was just like, okay, okay, well, we did it out of love. We're going to, raise this kid out of love, and we just got to go with it. Just we're going with life as it is.
And that to me, that's one of the best ways to go. We planned them before, the showers and all that good stuff. But when the little human is actually here, days and nights change. You'll think it's 6 a.m. and it's actually 6 p.m. You'll think it's 6
And
p.m. and
those
it's 6 a.m.
3 a.m.s and those 4 a.m.
Yeah.
That's
It
right.
does it does require a
Yeah,
lot of adjustment in life, but I like what you said that we will raise this child in love. And I've been knowing your mom since 2008, and I already know this baby gonna be spoiled to the moon and back.
no, 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 no,
No,
no,
no, no, no. You have no control over that,
no,
son.
no,
Wait, no, no,
no.
no. Let me tell you, because David
None.
already had a conversation with Ian
Yeah,
about this nuclear family that is now being uh birthed.
create
And so you want to share a little bit? You don't have to.
boundaries, boundaries,
That's Ian's new word, y'all.
boundaries, big
And
boundaries.
you have every right to set them boundaries.
Boundaries and communication. No popping up. No, I just was in town. No, you're not. You live in Gardena. I'm in Burbank. Just boundaries and communication from all fronts. I'm lucky enough to have two parents. Melanie is lucky enough to have two parents who all four of them are excited about the baby, who wants to spend time, babysit. We already been offered to go to Detroit in a month from the birth of the baby, so the Detroit family can see it. And the thing is, realistically, she's not going to be, ready to travel anywhere, especially with a newborn. And it's already starting on them taking our time and taking up our space, for lack of a better term. So just setting up already like, hey, now right now, hey, let's talk about this. Let's communicate on what we're doing, what the plan is, so we all can be on the same page. I think it's very important, especially blending families and building families.
Well, I'm gonna just pray for y'all because already let my children know
Yeah,
that once they tell me that they're having a child, be prepared for me to be at your house at least for the first 6 to 8 weeks
yeah,
to help you out because you're gonna need it.
And
yeah,
that's what I already know. So
You're gonna need it.
I listen with a grain of salt because I know
yeah,
what's ahead.
Yeah,
I
you're
know
gonna
what's
need it.
on the road ahead. So I'm not worried about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We know that, especially the first several weeks. I can't even put a number on it. That our house is going to be
It's going to
filled.
have a one of those revolving doors.
This is
Yeah,
going to
but you want to limit now. The moms,
definitely.
grandparents, and siblings, I think that should be
That's
your limit. Because people can get the baby sick. So you want to have a limit on how much activity you have flowing, especially when the baby is so new and
that's
so
right.
susceptible to all that's going on. I mean, grandmas and grandpas and siblings, they kind of know wash your hands, keep your mouth covered, don't kiss hands, don't kiss feet, don't kiss lips, all of that, don't kiss face. Grandparents and siblings pretty much know that. But yeah, I would suggest, and I can say that because, when my daughter was born, it was everybody and everybody around, and my daughter ended up getting sick and ended up going back into the hospital. So that's one thing I do highly suggest. Keep your limitations of visitors very limited to your immediate family, grandma, great grandma, yeah, ooh, great grandma, ooh,
Ooh, and
grandma,
she's
great
excited too.
grandmas.
Right.
Yeah. So that's just for the safety. And most people understand and know that for the first 8 weeks, most people already know they probably won't see the baby unless it's a family, picture that's going around. But most people respect that in a new mother because mom needs time to heal, mom needs time to
Definitely.
Dad needs
Definitely.
time to heal. Dad needs time to rest. Even though dad doesn't physically have the child, dad
Right.
is just as tired as mom because dad is mom's A1 supporter in the
Yeah.
labor and delivery and the coming home and the midnight feedings
Yeah.
and all of those things. So yeah, I understand the boundaries definitely. And I'm pretty sure grandmas won't have a problem with that because they know they've been mothers before. But you want
The
to be able
great
to
grandmothers,
hold
I
them
don't
off
know.
too long.
But I'm sorry, Ian, what did you
I
say?
said, but the great grandmother, I don't know.
That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story with Miss Shirley. Now
Well,
I ain't
no, she'll
saying
shut it down. She'll
nothing.
shut it down because she's old school from
Oh
South
yes.
Carolina.
Yeah.
And I remember when I had Ian, the only place I could go to was her house.
Mm,
And I was on lockdown for a month.
Mm,
yeah.
I love
Uh-huh.
that. I
Because
love
they didn't want you to be sick. They didn't want the baby to get colic or
And I
cold.
had to get
They
my
didn't want
rest
you getting
because
sick. Yep. It's
the new mother's hormones are still out of whack, and she's
yeah,
tired because of the whole thing. Her body has to get back after having the baby, so it was all hands on deck to let her rest
yeah,
and rejuvenate herself.
yeah.
So
That's I
that
said
was
they
why
gonna
I
need the
was on
help.
lockdown.
Yeah, they're gonna need the help.
We're going
But it's I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you guys starting this family. I just give best wishes to you and Mel in this journey. Mel, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you and Mel in this journey into parenthood. Um, it should have been both of y'all, really, because both of y'all into the new parenthood.
But
Father,
this is the
but
Father's Day. This is
yeah,
the
yeah,
Father's
yeah.
Day. But we'll
But
catch her next year because she will have had a
mother,
year for Mother's Day.
mhm.
That's right. We will catch
But
her next year. But I
I
just have
I
one
am.
more question, Ian. So
Wait
what
a
will
minute, I'm
you,
not finished yet, because
huh?
I'm just inviting myself to the baby shower.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just letting you know. I invite
You
myself to the baby
RSVP and
shower.
that's cool.
Come on through.
So that's just how it's gonna be.
Come on through.
Wonderful.
Come
So
on.
Ian, for the I guess this will be like the last question. What will you
Wow.
carry
Okay.
with you from your own upbringing? What will you carry as far as discipline and the environment of the space of the house and family? What will you carry with you?
That's a good question. What would I carry? It's I carry a lot, good and bad. I love that we have traditions that we keep. You know, our family gatherings are very, important to us, and just that sense of family is very important to us. So I'm keeping that definitely. I'm making sure that he knows who we all are. You all are, from as far as I can remember. And that's why I made sure that I gave you all those books that you need to finish.
I'm still working on my book.
Right. Okay.
It's grandma. I don't think it says grandmother. And I
Mm,
have to write down all the little happenings that in my life from growing up, from birth to that I can remember to where I am now. So I'm still working on my book. I believe David's working on his book. Yeah.
that's good.
I'm
So
working
that's
on mine.
Oh, you have one too?
yeah, and so that's very important to me. I feel like we we were blessed enough to take road trips to South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia to, hang out with cousins, great cousins, and, people who were significant in our family. And I just want to make sure that he knows he has, what's the way to put it, branches on a tree that he can, reach out to or just see that he has. What else? I think communication is a big thing. I feel like I want him to have an environment to be able to talk about whatever,
Ah,
anything.
cone of silence. Will you be carrying the cone of
I'm
silence?
keeping the cone of silence. That cone of silence is going to be forever. That's that cone of silence is
You want to
part of the
explain
memory.
what the cone of silence is?
Well, the cone of silence is, from Get Smart. It's an actual cone that comes down that never worked.
It ours worked.
Ours, sure, works.
The
But that,
penalty is awful.
yeah, ironically, the Get Smart cone of silence never works. But just even, it doesn't even have to be a cone of silence. It will be offered up, but I just want them to know that, they can talk. But I'm not going to say, oh, did you do the drugs? Did you have the sex yet? I'm just gonna, because that's what mom did. She said, did you do the drugs?
I did not.
Did you do? So I'm not gonna do that, but I'm going to make sure that there's an environment, that's he feels safe in. As a teacher of like middle school kids and high school kids, they really come up to me and ask me daily for advice, just life advice, not just academically, just life and social advice. And if I can just bring that within the house for, my son to be safe to talk to me,
Yeah.
that's truly a blessing. Um, what else? What else am I bringing? The music that my parents put me on, I'm gonna put him on, from playlists that I've already made for my dad. I'm making a playlist for for you, and then we already have a playlist of Mel and our music. So the music, the creativity, the activities over the summertime that we would get ourselves in. Just it's going to be he's going to be busy, just like us. We were very busy. I mean, we had as many meetings as our parents, from choir rehearsal, usher board, YPD meeting, drumming, basketball practice. We were busy, and I think having that created so many memories that I am grateful for, and that's one thing that I want him to have as well. Discipline. One thing, um, I mean, the church really helped, build a moral compass, from very young, and I think that's I want to, carry that over for him as well. Um, I think we've been talking about spankings a lot, and I think we're kind of like on the fence about it. I feel like at a point, up to a point, it's okay. Not like a whooping, but up to a point, it's okay because where communication is broken down, or when the child doesn't know how to communicate, there got to be a way to let them know that this is not okay. But once they are able to, formulate sentences, then we will, communicate with them what's right and what's wrong, and what the consequences, from natural consequences to the consequences that are going to happen in the house. I think that will be our form, a form of discipline. I could talk about this, all day. I mean, I was, raised, I was raised all the way up until I left the house. So you can stop me whenever I talk too much.
It's an exciting moment in your life. It's a first time motherhood for me. It's an exciting moment. So, it's I was laughing because you were like, well, we're already talking about how punishment is gonna go. That'll change down the line because
when they look at the face, when they see
it's
the
that
face
face.
and hear that
Yeah.
laugh and
Mhm.
understand that that baby will come out knowing how to communicate. I was listening, you say,
Yeah.
well, the baby can't communicate. The baby's communicating right now
Right, right.
inside of her. And
Very true.
when that baby comes out and you realize that from day one, from moment one, communication is going on,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
then manipulation comes when that baby knows when to smile and knows when to coo.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'll melt.
yeah. I know.
You'll
I
be a
know.
They'll
puddle
be
on the
so.
floor.
I'm already a puddle. I already know that. I'm already a puddle. So I know that is definitely going to happen. You know. So
Yeah.
I'm excited as well.
Well, we
Yeah.
are
Stay
excited.
excited.
We
Stay
are
Yeah.
excited. You know, I
excited.
am so over the moon excited. The
I'm
family is
excited for
excited.
y'all.
And even his brother is so excited. I think someone between Mel's family and our family, someone suggested that we're going to have to take numbers.
Oh yeah, I'm about to build a spreadsheet,
Yeah.
It's all
I know you,
Excel
Teresa.
spreadsheet.
Yeah, I know you
Take
very
numbers on
well.
who gets to take care of the baby.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They gonna be calling both of y'all. Trust me.
See, that's why we need a spreadsheet, so you guys can put the dates. We can block out the dates. We can have a shared calendar or something, because we're not going to be arguing. We're,
Reverend T,
yeah,
sis, those first 2 weeks of no sleep, they gonna be really calling y'all.
yeah,
I know it's not going to be an issue. It's not going to be an issue.
They gonna
oh,
be so tired. They gonna be like, can one of y'all just come over just for a few hours so we can
Mom,
go to
Mom, what
sleep?
are you doing? Mom, you want to come on through?
It happens. Everybody deals those first 2 weeks. Because see, when you have the baby at the hospital, it's all easy. They let you
Nurses are
sleep.
coming
They take the
in and
baby. They come in and out. But when you get home, it's a whole new show. Mama gonna be tired because mama done did all that pushing and delivery. You gonna be tired because you done been up all night with mama pushing. It's just you guys are gonna love to just get some good, nice sleep.
there you go.
And yeah, they don't even have to, really don't even have to know they're there because y'all gonna be asleep. The baby technically will be asleep, but it'll be somebody else there to get the baby so you can continue to at
And get
least
some
get
deep rest.
some good deep rest because the first 2 weeks they are going to be a little heavy because you're in the moment of everything is new. So to have that little care, that little extra care of help, it's going to really help you guys in the beginning. Now, many people probably didn't have that growing. I was fortunate when I had kids to have someone to help me so I can get those good night sleeps. Um, and it was funny because when my kid's grandmother would do it, she worked um she worked the night shift, but she was there during the day shift. So I got to sleep during the day shift, but then they switched shifts on me because they were used to being up with her and I was trying to sleep. So, but it all ended up working out. So the help, it is very helpful. It's just something to think about,
Oh,
having
yeah.
mommies rotate in and out for the first couple of times because you're gonna need some sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely that. Yeah, I agree.
So this has been a lot of fun. We thank
Yes.
you, Ian, for giving of your time during this getting ready time. And to our viewers, we thank you for tuning in. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of the Elaboration Room with two sisters of one. And we hope that we have even given you something else to consider in Ian's sharing. Hopefully, he has said something that has sparked a different thought in your mind.
Yes. So, and as we always do, we want you to be brave, be strong, and be different. Ask and it will be given unto you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the doors shall be opened unto you. Believe in yourself and encourage yourself. But in all things, remember, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Peace and blessings, our brothers and sisters. And once again, thank you for joining us in the Elaboration Room with two sisters of one.
One.
And we wish you all the blessings.
And I just realized I didn't even ask Ian, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, so you guys now know this is the voice that is in our closing of the Elaboration Room with two sisters of one. Perfect.
The Elaboration Room with two sisters of one. Make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode every Monday at 6 p.m.